Welcome to Tech Lady Tiffany. Today's video reviews one of the most basic tools within Google Sheets. Let's talk about how to filter within Google Sheets. This is a simple spreadsheet with a header row of student ID, last name, first name, and music class. And I want to create a filter for this spreadsheet. The easiest way to do that is to highlight the entire range. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit my snowman. Sometimes you'll actually see your filter icon on the main toolbar, but most of the time you're going to have to hit that little snowman and create filter. Now, I want to know how many kids are taking chorus. So I'm going to hit that filter symbol. I'm going to uncheck band and blanks and hit OK. Then at the bottom you can see very quickly without having to count that you have 13 kids rostered for chorus. Same I can do for band. I have 11 kids that are rostered for band. So now I want to select all to reset this view. Now what if I have a table, because that looks a little bit different. So let's go to my other sheet within this workbook, which is my roster of all students with their student ID, last name, first name, their grade, their birth date, and then whether they're taking one of those music classes. If it's blank, they're not taking it, but then it'll also list if they are taking band or chorus. So I want to filter out maybe by grade to see how many of our kids by grade are taking band, chorus, or not rostered for either. So let's set up a filter for a table instead. Now you'll notice if I have a table and I click this top left and try to create a filter, it's going to give me an error. Because what happens is I've selected this entire range and I can't put non-table information with table information. Now if you want to use this little filter icon, you can still use it, but what you need to do is highlight your table and then hit the icon. And that would work. But that's not what I want to do today, because I want to show you how to create filter views within a table. So instead, we're going to go up here and we're going to hit this little calculator calendar view looking thing, and we're going to create a filter view. Alright, that's going to add your filter icons here next to each header. I want to know how many kids in my school, which I only have 50 pieces of information here, not too much to deal with. I want to know how many 10th graders are taking chorus. Alright, now you can see there's only 4 within my set of information, and down here it tells me there's only 4. But if this was a full school of, 1,800 kids, that would be some information that I might want to know pretty quickly another time when I'm looking at scheduling. So I want to name this so that I can go back and quickly see this information without having to set my filters again. So I'm going to save this view, and I'm going to call it 10th chorus, and hit save. Alright, I'm going to close it out. And you can see now I can just quickly click that icon, and that's an option that it'll switch me right back to that view. Alright, and then I can close it out again. What if I want to know how many of my kids are not taking band or chorus? I could just go to filter view, and I want to look at just the blanks. I want to know how many are not taking. And it tells me down here 26 of my 50 kids that I have information for here are not taking a music class of band or chorus. Again, I can just save that view, no music. Save. And then I can close it out. And very quickly, when I need to know, how many kids do we have again that are not taking music? I can just switch back to that view. So being able to save a filter view is actually a really good tool. Alright, that pretty much covers how to set up basic filters, whether it's a spreadsheet or a table. One last little tidbit of information: if you have a table and it's making it hard for you to use filters or sort data, you can always exit the table view by hitting this little down arrow next to table 1 and hitting revert to unformatted data. That's your simple way to get out of a table and be able to use the basic commands without running into any of those errors. Alright, good luck filtering and sorting!